In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a brick wall effectively using TinkerCad, which is an online program by AutoDesk, who also make AutoCAD. It's going to be something that I can 3D print for use on an outdoor model railway, which is in a G scale, otherwise known as garden scale. At a size of 1 to 22.5 is the normal scale, which is this design I've already made. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger this time because although its scale was true, didn't look quite how I wanted it, so I thought maybe just increase the brick size a little bit. So to get onto TinkerCad, it's www.tinkercad.com. You need to register and get an account. It's free to use this version. They do commercial versions that you have to pay for, but for what we need, we can do this using this free version. So click on Create New Design, and we're given a blank canvas. If you imagine this work plane as being the 3D printer, this is how we're going to build it up on here. Before we start, we'll just have a think about the dimensions. So I've sorted the G scale is 1 to 22.5. So a standard brick size about 215 millimeters long. In G scale would be 9.6 millimeters long. I've decided to go a little bit higher, almost 1.5 times. We're going to go for 14 millimeters long. The rest of the dimensions are here, but so effectively we're going to put a brick which should be 14 millimeters long, 6 millimeters high, 4.5 millimeters deep, and go about a 1 millimeter cement gap between each brick. Hopefully that should be enough to be able to paint it quite nicely without it being too difficult. We're going to start with a brick. Fortunately, it's quite a simple shape. It's basically a box, and drag it on here and adjust the height and the width using these pointers here. The little cone is to move it up and down in the Z scale, but I actually just want to change the height. You can draw it down here. You can also, that's just how I want it, but you could just overtype that if you wanted. So now take out the, but we can, so I should demonstrate here. We want 14 millimeters in that direction, 4.5 in that direction. Just zoom in, so we're using the wheel. So that's kind of a brick size. Just realised actually I've transposed the height and the thing, so that should actually be 4.5. And it's the other dimension that should be that one there. It should actually be 6. Okay, so there we go. That's more of a brick shape. I know it's a little taller, and then the ratio isn't 100% on, but that's what we want to try and achieve. Just going to put a little cement thing here, so just show you. Create another one. Effectively, we want the same height, which is 4.5 millimeters by approximately 6. Right, the grid's here set to 1 millimeter. I'm going to change that in a minute, but I'll do for now. So there we go, 1 millimeter deep. So to make it a little bit obvious. That's the brick. This, if you imagine, is the cement that's joining that. I'm going to change the colour of that. I'll make it grey to look like the mortar, the cement. And so if we 3D print that, then it will actually look exactly the same. What we want to do is take it, look, so move it here using the roller ball, the roller on the mouse. So if I change my snap grid to 0.1 millimeters, means I can make finer adjustments, and effectively what we're looking at is bringing it in, imagine from each side a couple of millimeters, so that then when we put the next brick, we can do here, just select that brick and duplicate, so if you place that there, then as you can see we've got two bricks with this mortar that is in set bits. So once we've put all the rest of the bricks on, you'll be able to see it'll look like a wall. Now we could carry on individually creating one, and we would create another one, another cement to go on the top, and then bring the more bricks on the top. One, this is going to create an awful lot of objects here, and we can duplicate them easy enough, so it's not that tedious. But the one problem then is that if you do not quite get these, get everything touching, you can end up with gaps. So kind of a cheat, but what I'm going to do, I'm just basically going to take this cement and it's going to cover the whole wall. So we'll just have one block, just Control Z to undo that, one block that will represent the whole wall, and then the bricks will be laid on top of that. But if we look underneath, we need to ensure, as you can see, probably not quite obvious enough from here. I'll just bring it down a little bit. We want to be able to see an obvious, there we go, so you can see now there's a gap between that and the bricks. Not that quite. And that's hopefully about enough. Then all we need to do is, you can either Control C, Control V, the usual copy and paste mechanism, and then use the Shift key to line them up. The only disadvantage of this is that you can't see this gap, although if we set the scale back to 1 millimeter, I'll just duplicate this time, then that's 1 millimeter gap. Fine. A little bit tricky, might be better off with so yeah, so as we move them, there should be 1 millimeter between each one. That's about right. So that's one of the ways you can use the snap grid. So we've got 4. I'm going to do this 10 wide, so I've got 5, might as well, oops, and select that. So I've just selected the bricks. Okay. So it does just about fit on here, but I'll move it across to the left. Okay. See, what I need to do now is to extend this mortar using that all the way up so that it's flush with the end. We don't actually want it indented really where, not on this layer. When we start to put the rest of the wall, we'll do that. Bring the wall up. Now one of the things you can do is you can group them together, copy and paste them. I won't do that just yet, I'll do it once I've done the next level. Duplicate this time I'm not wanting to go horizontal, I want it to go up, so I'm going to use this arrow, which is going to raise it up, and as you can see, bring it up so that it's 1 millimeter above that. Now I want to shift it to the left, to the right rather, approximately half a brick, just as you would if you're building a brick wall. Actually, I've duplicated that, which I didn't want to do, so I'll just get rid of that. The end brick, obviously overhanging now, so we just bring that one in. So it's level with the others. See, there we go. Duplicate that one. Hopefully, should be about the same size at the other end. It's a tiny bit less, but that's fine. We'll just adjust that. There we go, the first 2 layers. We'll select them, unselect the mortar by pressing shift, and that we'll group them together, and now it's as simple as duplicating that until we get to the height we want. We're going to move this one using this. Duplicate again and move up. Keep moving this up a bit further. That was a copy and paste, whereas before I was duplicating it. When you copy and paste it, it shifts it. It's actually better if we duplicate it, because then it's in the same position, so we just need to move. So there's the 10 levels. See, it's just comes the wall comes slightly above the cement, so we want to just bring the cement up till it's flush at the top. There we go. So we can have a look around, and there's our wall. The important thing to note is that these are indented, because obviously if not, then these colours don't actually mean anything when you 3D print. We need to make sure we've got this indented so that you can distinguish between the bricks and the cement, the mortar in between. So next thing, I'm doing not just a wall, but this is going to be the wall which is the end of a support for a bridge. So I need to go down the left and right sides. It won't be a complete box because the back will be open, just 3 sides. So if I group all those together, I can duplicate that, and this time you see the rotation. I'm going to rotate it on that axis by 90 degrees. Now the half brick is actually on the top one, so if we move we actually mirror this, actually I'm going to turn it by 180 degrees. There we go. There we go. So the so let's look at that again. So that should be a half brick there. Yeah. Actually now, so actually the easiest way to do this is I don't need quite this length. I'm going to actually remove ungroup. If I ungroup everything, I can then just remove these. So we use the to move it. See, what I did on my previous one, I've realised I've actually made a slight mistake here, but it's okay because I can just fix it. When I did it previously, if you make one side of the wall have a half brick on each side, then it makes it a little bit easier, but we can fix this just by moving these down, and it gives us a chance to see this is the tools in action. Keep pressing the shift key to actually to make sure that it only moves in one plane, because otherwise it tends to just jump around when I'm moving it to the left. See, I've now got all that. To make sure we line these up properly, remove this, just select the mortar and then I just want to make it so that these are in line with the other bricks, so reselect all that. If I reselect. If I select everything, I could just unselect the front wall. So that's right. These ones. These ones are now level. Those are indented a little. We could either move the whole thing to the right and squeeze these down a bit, but I think it might look a little bit more realistic if I just extend these just a little bit. So unselect that, select each of these, and then just drag these out. You can actually look from underneath or something like that, so that you can see when they are. There we go. That's flush. Just have a look around, make sure that looks pretty good. It's all lined up. So just again, if I select everything, but shift select, unselect the front, I can make that wall into a group. Okay, that's a group. As you see, it all changes to the same colour once it is a group. If I duplicate that, and then you should be able to just move that all the way down to here. And then from here as to whether I've got it lined up. Yeah, pretty much that looks lined up. So there we go. Seem to notice that it's overhanging at the back, so let's select everything and let's just bring it back into the workplane. All complete now, ready to 3D print. If I give it a name, it gives it this weird name. So this is this is G scale version 2. So it saves it automatically. You don't need to explicitly save it. Once we've given it the name, we can export to 3D print, use STL, which is a format that can then be imported into the 3D printing software, for creating the sliced images, sliced files into the GCode that 3D printers normally use. That's it, and it's saved it into my downloads folder. Okay, so that's it. That's how to create a brick wall ready for 3D printing. I hope you found that useful. If so, please like and share this video. You can also leave a comment below, and if you'd like to see more of my future videos, please follow my channel Penguin Tutor on YouTube.